Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another DevReach Spotlight. Today, I'm so excited to welcome my good friend and developer hero, Layla Porter. Layla is a live coder, Microsoft MVP and GitHub Star, among many other titles. She advocates at VMware and is one of the most humble and intelligent people that I know, which is a rare package indeed in this industry. Layla's DevReach talk will cover ASP.NET basics for experts, all the things you really should know but often forget. Layla, thank you so much for taking time to be here and do this interview with us this evening. How are you doing?
I'm really good. I feel like quite overwhelmed by that introduction you gave. That was very, very kind. And I think I'm far from the most intelligent person you know.
I honestly am always overwhelmed at the breadth of the fields that you're in. I think like
Yeah, it's
what we'll talk
wide,
about
not
today.
very
Yes,
deep.
we'll fiddle fiddle faddle. Well, so tell us, how did you get started in technology in the beginning?
Uh, I've always been a bit interested in it, but then my now husband was a developer, so I was always interested in what he was coding. So I was just being nosy. I'm very nosy, so that's probably it. My nosiness got me into it.
I wonder if that's why we're such good friends. We have such like similar backstories. I was talking to my friend, she's a local friend, and her husband's doing this project, and I was like, "Do you like ever go and like help out or ask how's that work?" And she's like, "Why would I when I can just go rewatch Harry Potter?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, so not the curious type. We got two types of peeps."
I am definitely all up in his code. He's been learning all this new stuff with this new way of doing stuff in Unity, the game engine.
Yeah.
And I like on Saturday, I think I sat the entire day with him going through it because I'm like, I want to learn this too. I want to know how to do this. I don't do any game development, but I'm right in there going, what are you doing? Oh, teach me this. I'm so
You're
nosy.
like that bit there. I'm gonna need you
Yeah,
to just
yeah, yeah.
describe
Just
what's
go back,
happening.
clean it.
So was .NET your first love? Like what led you into
Yeah,
this?
I mean, I did a bit of CSS and HTML, and then I started, yeah, the very first programming I did was with .NET and C Sharp. So I really liked it, and then I did do some JavaScript in there, but I think it was the strong typing and the tooling that really led me to love .NET and C Sharp so much.
Mm. So do you have a coolest project, like looking back on all the things you've got to work with or poke at or help with? Is there anything that like sparks like, yes, this was the coolest thing I've worked on?
I was really pleased with my Layla's Little Helper app that integrates with my virtual studios that I used to use when I live coded, because I've had a break from live coding. Um, but I have had this app that has Signal R and it integrates with a Unity game application.
Mm.
And it has all these triggers that you can press buttons in the web app and it makes things happen in the game engine or the game. And I love that. It was so fun and so creative. And I went a little bit wild with all the color schemes because it's not a business app. I could be really like, I went all the way with Tailwind. It was all just,
Excellent.
fancy gradients and wacky text. It was awesome. I love that.
We recently had an interview because we have a Tailwind and Blazor talk at DevReach, and we went into the. It's good to see that you're not in the Tailwind hate camp, but
Oh,
we
no.
we essentially decided that all Tailwind haters would probably end up on the Tailwind's actually okay, like it's not the devil if they gave it a try. So that's where we landed on that.
I think so, because there is this argument that you fill up all of your HTML tags with a gajillion classes, but then you don't have to. You can build your own classes out of um,
Extending those, yes.
Tailwind classes, so you can just be so precise.
Mm,
And I really like it. I really enjoy working with it. I think it's really flexible. It's a steep learning curve, and I think that's what puts
mm,
people off.
ah,
And I started with Bootstrap, so I used Bootstrap since it first became a thing,
mm.
um, more than 10 years ago. So it was quite hard for me to switch over to Tailwind. But then when I started to get into it, like after like 2 hours or so, just like, oh my God, what do I do? Then I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is really powerful. So yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah, I've heard the same conversion story time and time again. So you heard it
Yeah.
here, if you're on the fence.
Give it give it a go.
Your talk for DevReach, ASP.NET Basics for Experts, what initially led you down this path for creating the talk? What was your inspiration?
Well, it was really just to help developers coming from other languages to get started really quickly with .NET. So all of my colleagues are Java developers. I'm the only .NET developer on my team. And I was prepping a talk with my teammate, and he was sort of showing me some stuff in Spring and Java. And then this was a talk we were prepping. So then I would do the same thing that he did in Java and Spring with C# and .NET. And it sort of came from there. And I was like, oh, I can do this talk. And then it covers a lot of the basics that people often forget. It's also really good for developers coming from .NET Framework over to .NET Core. They know how to do these things. They just don't know how to do them in .NET Core. So that was like a really good starter.
Oh, that's awesome. So is there one thing that from your talk that developers often will forgo or forget about during development that they really should be thinking about?
I think really good code structure. So the things that I promote are like writing extension methods, so you're not cluttering up your program, and just really how to structure your project, how to get a really good foundation. I think you can build great apps off a good foundation without over engineering.
Do you think there is such a thing as architecting mid-application?
Yes, but I think if you have like a really good foundation, and you've laid that work in, then you can do your architecture. You can make changes and decisions midway, because if you've got it nicely structured and you've got nice separation of concerns, I think you can do anything then. If it's just a jumble of all code in one file, you're going to have to tease through that first. But if you have a nice structure, it doesn't have to be any particular architecture, just something that makes sense to you and your team, then you can do anything with that later.
I love it. So a little bit of a pivot. We've got some incoming quirky personality questions. Are you ready? We're
Alrighty.
maybe rapid fire and see because I usually do a quirky question at the end, but I wanted to see if we could do some funny ones in rapid fire.
All right,
So
let's go.
Which word would you use if you could only use one for the rest of your life?
That's it.
Wait, that would actually be
yeah.
You actually chose That is hilarious, but you're right. You can use it for multiple. But also I think that's more of a sound. Okay, what are 3 scents, like smelling scents, that you like?
Okay. I love anything rose. So really love rose. I love like the woodland pine smells, that kind of thing. And then petrichor, so the smell of the rain, petrichor.
What? This is like a new word for me. I'm totally looking this up after.
Yeah,
like when it's raining, it's like that smell.
Yeah, the smell of
so cool.
on stone.
Excellent.
That's one of my all-time favorite smells.
Ah, I love it. Okay, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Oh, excellent. Front end or back end?
Back end.
Blazor or Maui?
Blazor.
Have you ever been to Bulgaria?
No, I have not.
No. Oh my goodness. So for those of you who don't know, who may have seen part of the series and missed it, DevReach is actually in Bulgaria. So Layla, what is one thing or some things that you're looking forward to about DevReach 2023?
Well, there's going to be so many people I love there, including you. I'm actually traveling there with 3 other speakers from Warsaw. We've booked a whole row on the plane there together. We've taken over the row and we're all flying together. So that's going to be a bit of fun. And then I'm just looking forward to seeing you and Ed and Sam and Catherine and all the awesome people and Sarah. Oh God, there's too many people to name. I'm going to miss somebody.
There is.
And
It's
And then, you know,
exciting.
there is, I know you've got some lovely things planned. So I'm just looking forward to seeing all of you and
Mm,
hanging out
the
and of
people.
course sharing knowledge, which I love to do.
Excellent. Now, make sure that, you don't get too rowdy on that flight. I can see the flight
Please,
attendant
it's like 10
walking by
o'clock
and
in the
being like,
morning, it's fine.
and you actually get to see right before Sofia another beautiful city, Warsaw, right? Like, do you get to
Yes.
spend some time there?
Yes,
Oh,
you
excellent.
won't be there because you and I did that last year, and we went and held tarantulas, do you remember? I loved it, just wandering around with you in the cold and the rain, and then going and hiding in this fantastic building,
Mhm.
and then going to see a spider exhibition, and
Yeah,
then
any I
holding
I will hold a
Rosie
tarantula with
the
you any
tarantula.
day.
Yay!
Oh, well, thank you so much, Layla, for doing this interview. I cannot wait to see you. And I just wanted to give you a shout out that what are you looking forward to most? You actually were highlighted in 2 or 3 different people's what they're looking forward to most. And so
Oh my
you brought up,
goodness.
I know. So I'm so happy you're coming. People are very excited to see
I
you and meet
am
you.
very
And
happy to come.
so get your tickets now. We hope to see you in Bulgaria this fall and have a wonderful day, everybody.
Bye.